So how is it for you doing like a good old-fashioned fight scene? Usually you're zippy and you're clever.
Yeah, and
you're,
it is
you
kind of
know.
the case with I think a lot of the Marvel movies, just to have and certainly for Ant-Man to have just an all-out fight. Kevin Feige reminded me today that the very first time we ever see Ant-Man, going back to the very first movie, the very first shot is Ant-Man getting punched in the face. So this seemed like it was kind of a nice full circle of getting punched in the face many, many times. It was great to you're seeing all of this stuff throughout the entire movie and shrinking and growing, all of that, and all these amazing effects then we have just a fight. And doing that against Jonathan Majors is no walk in the park. He knows what he's doing. He was getting ready to go shoot Creed after we filmed this. So he was in full fight mode, and it was amazing.
I wanted to beat Scott Lang up in this movie a little bit. I really, we talked about it, and Paul and I talked about it a lot. He starts the movie kind of resting on his laurels and looking backwards, and now he's sucked into like the most dire situation of his entire career. But we liked the idea of the third act of this movie. Kang has made a deal with Scott. Scott lived up to his end of the bargain, and Kang reneges on his thing and takes his daughter. So by the third act, I love the idea. I had this image. I want like a 400-foot tall giant man showing up, and suddenly it's like a Taken movie where it's like, "You've got my daughter, I'm coming!" You know, like, holy shit, this is dad rage. I wanted to see Scott Lang in full giant man dad rage. That seemed like a fun thing to do. You're doing a Godzilla movie, but Godzilla's your dad, and he's kicking down the wall, and he's coming to get his kid. That seemed relatable and exciting, and also you're doing it in the quantum realm, and there's an absurdity still to it, which is one of the things I like about the Ant-Man stuff. And then we also like the idea of, let's take that even further. After this big battle, Kang's suit is gone. It's not working. Scott's suit is broken by Kang. It doesn't work. And now you've got these two guys who are just two guys, and they're going to fight it out. One of those guys, unfortunately, happens to be Jonathan Majors, who, if you had to place money on Jonathan Majors versus Paul Rudd, you probably know where you would put your money. But that, again, is the thing about Scott Lang. Scott Lang is first introduced in the first Ant-Man in a close-up, getting out of prison, and he's punched in the face. And this movie drives toward an ending where he's getting punched again. And the whole thing about Scott is he never gives up.